Hello everyone and welcome to this week's vlog. It's going to be all about fertility. It's going to be an update of what's been going on over the last couple of months since my operation. It's a bit of a mashup, so apologies. It's going to be a bit like, I'm going to try and put some dates on it so you get a general idea of what's been going on when. But I just wanted to say as well that after the miscarriage, I was starting to feel quite lightheaded and didn't have much energy. And I was speaking to the nurse at the fertility clinic and she said, well, did the hospital test your iron levels when you went in for the miscarriage? And I was like, no, they didn't. And she was like, it might be because you've got lower iron levels because you've lost a lot of blood. So I was like, oh, that does actually kind of make sense. So I started taking these multivitamins and iron tablets. And after like a few days, I started feeling much better. I'm still taking them now because I used to take them years ago. Well, before we started the fertility treatment, but then I think it's vitamin A they say that you can't take when you're pregnant because it can harm babies, so I stopped taking them. And I just thought I just kind of carried on with them basically because I thought, well, they're not going to do me any harm because I'm vegetarian as well, and even though I don't have any health problems of being vegetarian, I've never been anemic in all the years, 17 or whatever years it is since I've become vegetarian. I do think that getting other multivitamins and stuff does help with illnesses and stuff because I don't get colds. I don't really get ill, so I think they help, so I'm going to carry them on. And for now, I've also got rid of all the other medication that I was taking before because I was taking obviously folic acid, but I've decided to stop that because I want my body to reset itself and recover from everything that's been happening. So the miscarriage, the operation, all the drugs that I've been putting inside me over the last couple of years. So I've stopped taking folic acid because the folic acid used to make me have sore boobs before my period for about a week before my period, but now I've stopped taking folic acid. That's not happening anymore, and I've had 2 periods since the miscarriage and that's not happened, so that's made me feel a bit better already. And also I was taking vitamin D, but now I'm taking multivitamins and iron. I'm not taking vitamin D, so I'm just taking the multivitamins and iron and a hay fever tablet for the first time in years, because before the fertility treatment I was taking antidepressants, which I've decided not to go back on yet because I feel that if I do decide to go through with anything else, or we decide to try again or something, or whatever we decide to do, I don't want to come on them, off them, on them, off them, because I think that would do my mental health more damage than just staying off them for now, and then seeing how it goes. And if I decide that I don't want to try again, or we can't get funding for another IVF treatment or whatever, then I might go on them again so I can have my brain back, because I really want my brain back. It's just doing things that I don't appreciate. It's making life harder at the moment, and I would like to be thinking about normal things, not stupid things that I don't need to worry about or aren't relevant to my own life but seem to just be in my head anyway. That would be great. So anyway, without any further ado, since I've been babbling for about 3 minutes on here for my introduction, I'll just get on with the rest of the vlog. Been over a week since the operation and I'm feeling loads and loads better. I don't need any painkillers anymore. I can feel like twinges and I've got to be careful like bending, and when I'm twisting and stuff I can feel it, and so it's not quite obviously back to normal, but it's so much better. I'm not getting any stomach cramps anymore, which is brilliant. And sorry about that, that's Molly in the background nagging me for a walk that she's not going on because she pulls and I can't do that pulling thing. Yeah, and like the bleeding's pretty much come to a stop now, so physically I'm feeling much better and more sprightly. I've had a few tears about things when I get to like think about it, but to be honest, there's so much distracting me at the moment because everyone's because it's all so new, everyone's sort of rallying around us a bit. So we've got all sorts of things, and my mum and dad came to me in the hospital yesterday, which I just had a blood test, took like 2 seconds. To check my hormone levels were coming down, and they've come down loads. They were like 5,000 and now they're like 250, so I've got to go back for that in a week. And yeah, it's just sort of like trying to get some kind of normality back into our lives, and I think me and John just need some space to kind of grieve a bit, really. Oh, Molly's just doing some kind of weird hacking up thing, which is what we're hoping to do because we've got this next week off, and I really do just want John, to be honest. And he's been at work all week, and I just want it to be us two and just sort of get through all the crap that we've gone through and to process it, and I guess grieve for everything that's happened, for what we've lost, and yeah, everything. So yesterday I got these beautiful flowers from 2 of our friends that I was bridesmaid for in January, and they sent this like little card thinking of you, and this little note inside, which is really sweet. These are from Bloom and Wild, so they like take 24 hours or so to properly get their colour into bloom, but look how amazing they look already. I just think they're so beautiful, and so I'm really looking forward to them when they go. They're quite pungent, you can really smell them. And then we've had some other cards and things as well. So this one is from like John's family, it's his aunt and uncle. I thought that was really pretty. And this one as well, which I think is from his grandma. So that's quite sweet as well. And then John absolutely loves ice cream. Like, don't get me wrong, I like ice cream too. But my main thing is chocolate and John's is ice cream. So his mum and dad have brought us so many ice lollies. It is unbelievable. We couldn't fit them all in. So I had to take some of them out of the boxes and things and just like ram them in. There's another box there. To be honest, John loves ice cream so much. He has like 3 or 4 in a day, and with it being so nice weather, I really don't think it's going to take us that long to get through all that. At least not him anyway. So my sister came round for the afternoon, the Friday after, so a week ago today, the Friday after the operation. And then obviously John was around Saturday and Sunday, and then he went back at work at Monday, so my mum came and spent the day with me, which was really nice, because I hadn't seen her for ages because she'd been on holiday in Canada, all this stuff was going on. And then basically I phoned her the day before I had the operation telling her I'm going to have an operation. So she was like blasted with all this stuff as soon as she came back from holiday, bless her. So then her and dad came and visited me in hospital Wednesday night, but obviously they're only there for a little bit. And I had a lot to catch up on with our holiday, because obviously they'd had an amazing holiday and things, and I didn't know anything about the holiday yet because we'd just all been very much like hospital orientated and everything, so it was nice to catch up with that. And also the friends that sent us the bouquet of flowers, we're hopefully going to meet them on Sunday and maybe go out for breakfast, because I'm feeling so much better now that sitting out, you know, in a breakfast thing and stuff. The only problem is trying to get clothes on, because my stomach, and I showed a video before, was really swollen. It's gone down quite a bit, but it's still really big, and also because my stomach area is quite sensitive still, though the pain is so much better, I only really can wear elasticated stuff in and loose elasticated stuff. So jeans are completely out of the window, and I don't really want to wear dresses because my stomach looks absolutely massive. Obviously I look pregnant and I'm completely opposite of being pregnant, so I don't really want to wear dresses because I feel really self-conscious about that. And also because the stitches stick a bit sometimes, get caught on the tops, on my tops and things. I'd rather have a top and I can lift it up when I'm sitting just, you know, on the sofa or whatever, so that the stitches aren't catching and I don't catch it and things, because I don't want to ruin, you know, the stitches and everything, cause myself even more problems, because let's face it, I don't need any of that. Today is the 20th of July, and yesterday I finally got discharged from the hospital. I had 3 blood tests after the operation to check my hormone levels. They needed to go back down to -5, and yesterday they finally achieved that. So that's the last time we have to go. We also got a letter this week from the fertility clinic to see if we wanted a meeting about everything, as a possibility of getting another round of treatment funded, which obviously is a big step, because at the moment it's not something that we want to do, but we probably will go for the meeting and see what they say. I think they're having a bit of a panic because obviously they were the first ones that did the scan and sent us to the hospital. They told us there wasn't anything in the uterus, which turned out not to be true because there was something. So I think they had a bit of a panic, so they're going to see if we're going to get funding for another round, but I don't know if that's going to be an option for us, whether we really want to do that. Definitely not at the moment, and probably not this year, but maybe this time next year I'll feel differently, so we will go and sort that out as well. But now really things are getting more back to normal, I guess, if you can call it normal. As I was back at work this week, everyone was really good at work actually, and was really kind. They don't know everything that's happened, but they know that I've had an operation. The only people who know that's happened is obviously my sister, who's a manager there, and then the store manager and the deputy manager. No one else knows. I've just said I've had an operation, and I don't really want to talk about it. But they've all been really good with trying to help me out and things, so that made getting back to work a bit easier. But yeah, and I'm quite pleased to go back, because it's meant I felt like I'm actually doing something. Like, it's the first full week I've done at work for probably 2 months, so I was really pleased that I managed to achieve that. And then physically it was actually okay. I had a bit of pain and stuff, like muscle pain, but you know, from sort of using it and things, and they're not quite, you know, repaired yet, because it's only been 3 weeks since the operation. But yeah, considering, oh, did you hear that thunder in the background? not a big fan of storms. I'll be like, John, in a minute. Anyway, so yeah, so other than a bit of muscle pain and stuff, you know, which was not much considering that I was on my feet for 4 hours each time, is pretty good, to be honest, and doing a lot of bending and stretching and lifting things and moving stuff. So I think that was pretty decent. So yeah, today is the 26th of July, so we've had another week, so that's 2 weeks altogether back at work. So far so good on the physical side of things. Dog barking outside, it's not mine. Anyway, yeah, I feel much better this week than I did the last week physically. It's said that my stitches have all gone, and I'm getting a bit of pain, like it's lifting and things like that sometimes, like I can feel it. It's like I've pulled a muscle and then trying to lift something with a pulled muscle, but there's not really much occasion for me to do that. I just forget, because I'm feeling so much better, I forget that I've actually had the operation sometimes, and then try and like move stuff and I'm like, oh, shouldn't probably have done that. Otherwise, like mentally, as I said, everyone rallied around at the beginning, but the thing is, it's like when once you tell them something, everyone feels really sad and feels, you know, bad for you, and then everyone else moves on and gets on with their own life and their own stresses and worries, and you're sort of left in that. But my mum, bless her, keeps messaging me going, how are you getting on and all this kind of thing. She's literally the only one who seems to be messaging me now, but that's just the way things go, because I said everyone's got busy lives with work and everything else. But to be fair, that now that's just me and John, and you know, back to normal, I guess, in a lot of ways, I'm coping surprisingly well, a little bit scarily well. Like John's had a couple of quite low days, and he's been chatting about it more at work to just, you know, people, his friends or whatever at work, and I've not really spoken about it. I don't know whether that's which way is better to deal with it, I'm not sure. And because I guess I can't really feel like I can get across properly exactly everything. It's not a short story, it's not a happy story. I feel like there isn't really a subject where, you know, and I think John's not going into detail, he's literally going, you know, had a miscarriage and whatever. But I feel like saying that is only a small saying I had a miscarriage in a tiny little proportion of what has actually happened. Because obviously there was a whole suspected ectopic and you know, just everything. So I've just not really told anyone. I don't really feel the need to tell anyone either, to be honest. Like, the crucial people that our parents and our siblings know and our close friends know. So I don't really feel the urge to go and then tell other people, and then have their questions and stuff, which are going to be quite hard, and then I'd have to talk about it in more detail, and that's harder, whereas I find it easier just, you know, to say things on the surface. But despite me not actually sort of talking about the fertility on any of my social medias, or to the majority of people actually in my life in real life, these vlogs about my fertility have actually been the most viewed on Instagram of all my vlogs. I mean, I only started vlogging back in October, so it's not even been a year yet, but I thought that was pretty amazing, and I'm quite proud of it. It's just a shame, I guess it's because it's something that people don't really talk about, especially not in this amount of detail, I guess. And yeah, and hopefully it's making some people feel less alone as they go along. And yeah, so I'm quite proud. Today is September the 7th, and on the 5th we went for a meeting at the fertility clinic. They sent me a letter not long after I'd obviously sort of spoken to them and updated them and everything that had happened, sort of the suspected ectopic pregnancy, and then that it wasn't when I had the operation, and that then the miscarriage and everything. So obviously I told them about it. So they sent me a letter saying that we were entitled to go and discuss our treatment and I guess steps forward with, you know, IVF and stuff after that. So I decided I was ready to book the appointment after we came back off holiday from Crete, and it was on Thursday. So I met John after work, after he'd finished work, and we went to the fertility clinic. I have to admit, it was kind of a waste of time. Like John was like, it was a waste of time, it was just a sales pitch. I do feel like that we could have just done it on the phone. There was no point in trekking all the way there because it's in Derbyshire and we live in Nottinghamshire. So it was a bit pointless trekking all the way over there for it. We could have done it on the phone. And it did just make us feel sad because we had to sort of regurgitate what had happened. And I felt like she wasn't really that bothered, which made me want to go in more detail to get through to her how awful it was, really, I guess, because I was just like, she was a doctor, someone we'd never actually met through any of our treatment before. I thought it would be the doctor that was actually heading our treatment the whole time. the first person we ever discussed it all with, the person who put everything back in and everything, the eggs back in and everything. But no, it wasn't him. It was just some random woman we'd never seen before. We sort of like, she did tell us a couple of things that were useful. One of them being that with the investigation that's going on at the hospital about them, obviously whether they killed our baby or not, basically, to put it bluntly. She sort of told us how we could have steps to find out how that's going. So that was useful. And then she also told us a bit about how we could possibly get funding again. We'd have to go back to the doctors, start at square one basically again, though we probably wouldn't need all the tests. To see, because of how it ended, that we might be able to get another round of IVF through the NHS, and then, which we didn't know how we were going to go about that otherwise. But obviously we could have done all this on the phone. And then obviously her main thing was trying to cost up for us how much it was going to be. And I said, well, we don't really have like 10 to 12 grand. She said, oh, it's not going to be that much. And then she costed it all up and it came to like at least 8 grand as like a minimum. So I was like, so I wasn't really that far off. I didn't like pick the number out of nowhere. Like I'd actually researched it before and we originally weren't sure if we were going to get funding for it and stuff like that. So I knew how much it was going to cost. And I said, and also because we've obviously gone through it before and everything that happened, we didn't actually know that I could have a successful pregnancy. So would we just be chucking that amount of money basically down the drain and things like that. So anyway, I guess there's some things that we can think about, but from that meeting I didn't think I was ready anyway to do anything treatment wise or go any further, and from that meeting I'm now very sure that I'm not ready for anything like that yet. So I think I'm not really going to think about it, to be honest, and until maybe at a later date, or maybe I'll think about it again in January. I'm not really sure. It's hard to kind of think to give up, obviously, because no one said you can't have children like, you know, your tubes are blocked, so, or you've gone through the menopause, or you don't produce eggs, or John's sperm's not working, or all this. There's no definitive answer. I mean, as far as I see, it's unexplained fertility just means that they haven't got the medical knowledge yet to be able to tell you what is wrong and why you're not getting pregnant. And it's in some ways more frustrating because it's not like, right, your tubes are blocked, so we can figure out that you need to have IVF because we can use your eggs and your partner's sperm and then mix together, but you know, and then there's no reason why you can't get pregnant because it's your tubes that are blocked. Or if you've gone through the menopause, then you know why, you know, you can't get pregnant and things like this. And as devastating as those things are going to be when you find them out, at least then you can think of a solution. There's a solution to the problem, it can be corrected. But if there's no problem that anyone can see, then you can't correct it to make it right. And it's just, the meeting just made us more sad, and we ended up going out for food afterwards because we were just like, just go out some food and stuff like that. But yeah, it did make me feel much more sad. And it was harder, but I feel a bit better now today. I've gone for a jog today and that sort of shifted things in my head. And then yesterday we went to a wedding, so I was distracted because we were doing other things and I didn't have time to sort of think about stuff, so that was good. It distracted me a bit. So yeah, I think it's just going to be a lot of ups and downs, and sort of, like I've said before, it's trying to come to terms with the fact that I might never actually be a mum and John might never actually be a dad. And sometimes that really hits home and you just feel like you just want to cry and be sad. And then other times you're sort of like, well, there's no reason why I can't be, no one's told me I can't be. But obviously everything that happens is like decreasing our chance of doing it naturally after all this time. It's sad, and it's something we've got to try and sort of come to terms with, I guess. But as I said, it's hard to lose complete hope when you haven't got a definitive answer of why you can't have children, and that actually the doctors and stuff are like, well, there's no reason why you can't have it from test results. So yeah, Molly is like always there, isn't she? You alright? Yeah, my constant companion. Today is September the 11th. On Monday the 9th, I had my first counselling session that I've had. Sorry about this light, the sun's coming through the blinds. It's giving me like a line through here. If I do that though, that did not help at all. Never mind, I apologise for the lines. Anyway, yes, I had my first counselling session on Monday through the fertility clinic. You get 3 funded sessions and they're an hour long. I thought they'd be like half an hour, but an hour. All the way up until right near the end, I was like, right until the actual time I was supposed to have it, I was going to cancel it. Because I've had counselling and I went to see a psychiatrist before when I was younger. It's been over 10 years since I went to see any medical, like professional counsellor, psychiatrist or whatever. Because I just didn't get on with it, basically. Personally, I know talking therapy, some people swear by it and they prefer doing that than taking tablets. And that's great for them, but it's just not something that I've ever really got on with. So I wasn't feeling very optimistic. But I actually, in the end, really found it helpful. And I came off feeling much better because, we went to that meeting last Thursday and both me and John felt really sad and just a bit deflated and just all those emotions all over again that we had, sort of, hopelessness and that kind of thing. And I felt like that for a couple of days and I sort of, started feeling a bit better. And then I thought, do I really want to go through all this all over again on Monday with this counsellor? It's just going to set me back again. I'm going to feel sad and miserable again. So that's why I was thinking of cancelling it. But I'm really glad that I didn't. And I've booked another appointment as well. It sounded like on the phone, because it was a phone one. You can go in person, but I chose to have a phone because I don't drive and it's in Derbyshire and I'm in Nottinghamshire, so it just wasn't really very convenient with work trying to get there and stuff. And yeah, she sounded quite young and it was a woman. And yeah, I just felt like, sounds silly, but she was actually listening to me and we discussed all sorts of things. And I'm actually going to do another video, a mental health video, because she actually sort of, when I said to you before about my last mental health video, about sort of things that happened in the past that were kind of relevant to now and how I was coping with things now. Well, we talked a lot about that and we think we've come up with a new discovery, which I've suspected before, but obviously you can't self-diagnose yourself. Well, you can, but then, you're likely to get it wrong, and I thought I might have. But so I'm going to discuss that in another mental health vlog, I think. But yes, I found it helpful, and I've booked another appointment, and I'll probably do the 3 of the appointments that are going to be funded, but after that I'm not sure I'm going to do it because it's going to be like over £100 a session apparently, she says. So I'm thinking, perhaps not. So I don't know how I feel about that, but I guess I'll worry about that on the last session, see what she says. But yeah, so I'm going to end this vlog here with that really, and that's sort of the recap of everything that's happening fertility wise that's been happening over the last few months. I don't think much else is going to be happening for the rest of this year, to be honest, because I can't, even if we wanted to try again or try and get funding again, I can't do any of that until 3 to 6 months after I had the methotrexate, because it's a cancer drug and it stays in your system, and they recommend 3 to 6 months before you try again to have a baby. And to be honest, after that meeting, it really went home to me how not ready either me or John are to try and do anything about it again. And obviously we'd have to go to the doctors and see if we could even get funding to try things at IVF again, or whether we wanted to try something else. Like, someone's given me a link to these supplements you can have that that a blogger has found, or somebody has found, is really useful for if you've had failed IVF, so if you want to try again. And there's other things like fertility acupuncture I could try, but then I feel like I am really scraping the barrier with it. So I don't really know what we're going to do yet, and I think both of us need to just breathe and not be thinking about it for a bit, and I want to get my body recovered and back to how it was, which is why I've stopped all this medication and things, and why I've started jogging. I want to sort of get my headspace and my body reset after everything that's happened, and that's what I'm going to be concentrating on doing for the rest of this year at least. And then I'll see how I feel sort of January time, and how John feels to what we're going to actually do and what steps we're going to go forward. If you could like and share these videos, especially the fertility videos and the mental health videos, because I think they're really important, and I guess I want to get the conversation going about both those things and raise people's awareness of mental health but also fertility, because it's not always easy as just having sex and then getting pregnant. And I think a lot of people don't realise sort of this actually not that easy for a lot of people, or whatever. So if you could like and share this video and comment, that would be amazing. And of course subscribe, don't forget to subscribe. I can see you all watching my videos and not subscribing.